Hello and welcome to this weekend's weekend review, really.
Yeah.
From L&L Football. And so, obviously, I think the main talking point of the weekend is probably the Liverpool game. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Now, when I predicted this scoreline on Friday, you said I was mad. I think near enough.
Yeah.
I got it right. I actually managed to predict Crystal Palace to win 3-1. So, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, how much do you want to kill yourself right now? I think is the appropriate question.
Quite a lot. 4
consecutive
defeats.
For the first time in Liverpool's history, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Worst start to a season in 25 odd years or ever.
Bizarre.
Is it time for Rodgers out?
No.
Is it?
Never time for Rodgers out, unless we get relegated. There's not enough loyalty in football. He'll turn it round.
But I felt the same about Moyes. Then when it got to like April, and we were still 7th, and we were still getting beaten by.
You've got to remember when Rodgers came in, this wasn't unheard of. For us to play this badly, it wasn't unheard of. You know.
Yeah, but
under Roy Hodgson, we were in the relegation zone.
Yeah, but I feel like with Rodgers, he then had the platform. You've suddenly got Champions League football.
Kenny Dalglish only finished 8th in his one whole season in charge. He bought not particularly well. There wasn't a lot of money in the club.
But now there is. I feel like you haven't got that excuse anymore of being, oh, we know we finished.
No, the excuse we have, well, it's not an excuse. The reason we're not doing well is because, like City, we looked at last season and thought we didn't need to spend, or we didn't need to go out and buy excellent players.
You did. You lost your main striker for 60 million.
Of course we did.
You suddenly had a 60 million additional. Months.
Man City and Liverpool both looked at last season and thought we played very well. You can build on last season. We don't need to, go out and buy excellent players. For me, what Liverpool's issue's been.
But it reminds me.
We didn't buy good players.
This reminds me. This was like an alternating thing for transfer windows between the two Manchester clubs for the past few seasons. The season when City won the league for the first time, we lost out on goal difference. Ferguson went right. We bought. Admittedly, that season we went and bought Van Persie, goal scorer. We then beefed up our defence a bit in rotation. We added Butler. We added a few good youth players with Nick Powell. We added.
React. You cannot stay static.
Which City did that season. I think they only brought in.
Yeah. That was the season they.
I think there was a
Scott Sinclair.
Yeah, they brought Scott Sinclair. The season
Javi Garcia.
Yeah, the season you just won the league, you bring in those players.
Yeah, that's in a way the Scott Sinclair just absolutely smacks of the Lallana signing.
Yeah,
he's British. He was moderately successful at a smaller club the season before, and you go out and you just splash the cash on him.
But then the next season after that, when Man United won the league, we brought no one, and then as a result, that gap then began to emerge when City then went and bought massive costs. They bought Navas. Who else? They brought in Fernandinho, Demichelis. Even so, you're still adding to a squad. You're adding better players.
Negredo and
Jovetic. Yeah. But
these things go in cycles, and you have to say England players are never going to improve unless they get picked by big clubs and play in big games in the Champions League. And certainly Jordan Henderson's benefited because I don't think he'd have got to the same level.
Do you know who I think one of Liverpool's top targets should be? Nathaniel Clyne.
Absolutely. As an
English right back, a replacement for he's been fantastic. I mean, to
Liverpool is a good. This is where
you kind of messed up in a way. Like in that summer, you had a reinvigorated Liverpool side. You had Champions League football to offer people, as well as the prestige of the club. Anyone who says Liverpool is not an important club, again, even as a Man United fan, Liverpool have a prestige and a history.
That's the most painful thing. Is it wasn't that we couldn't get good players.
That you just didn't want
to. It's that we missed the opportunity to get top players.
Sanchez.
Now Sanchez may not have wanted to come to Liverpool, but if I'm Liverpool's negotiating team, Ian Ayre and the rest of them, I am going all out to get Alexis Sanchez. And I would argue this has probably been the first season since the Premier League started where Liverpool had a better chance of attracting big players than Man United.
Oh, definitely. This was your time to start climbing back up and start building on the foundations of last season, and you failed dramatically.
Brendan Rodgers' style is to buy players in and build them.
Which can
work. Look at Sturridge and Coutinho, which are his two best signings. By a great
right
distance.
Now, that's all good. But right now, what Liverpool needed was a quick fire success, and then when you've got that success, and then you have a platform to build on, then you start looking.
I
You were
think
still a bit shaky.
It was all too easy to say, oh, well, we're never going to buy a direct replacement for Suarez. That doesn't mean we can't buy someone good. You know,
Yeah.
like even Jackson Martinez would have been
Would
an
have been fantastic.
absolutely unbelievably good buy.
Mandzukic,
Wilfred Boney, I would have liked to buy Boney.
Mandzukic, Remy.
There were players available in the market, and I have to say about Louis Remy, a top heart specialist said he was fit. The French physio said he was fit. The Chelsea physio said he was fit.
Who was doing?
Who's doing our medicals?
Do you reckon Brendan Rodgers had a stethoscope and went? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, so that's enough of Liverpool. Let's move on to Man United versus Arsenal. Strange game.
How did that happen?
Sure, there was a point, I think about 20 minutes in, when Arsenal had thrown everything they had us and they kept missing. I was like, Man United are going to win this game. Man United will get a counter-attack goal and we're going to win it. And sure enough, and if Di Maria had put that freaking chance away, I would have got that prediction right as well.
It's just
Giroud's goal, at least that was one consolation. Giroud came back, got a very good goal.
Have you heard the latest about Giroud though?
No, what's the latest?
They were expecting him to be injured for longer, so they didn't register him for the Champions League groups. So he was out of their last Champions
Well
League
done,
group
Arsenal.
game. That
Well
is
done.
genius.
Well done. Wenger, you're doing a great job, can I just say. But oh my god. But again, what is going wrong with Arsenal? I mean,
well,
I don't. It was a bit naive in the sense that
you can't even say they bought the wrong players, because I think
they didn't add
attacking.
But they didn't add
what they needed.
They added a bit of what they needed in terms of Sanchez.
Sanchez was a great
but
signing.
you needed
I think they needed
depth
a
at the
Welbeck.
back.
I think Welbeck is a good signing. It's a signing that they identified they needed.
But Welbeck, the thing is, I thought this was it. Welbeck, of course, you could say this is a stupid comment, but in the sense it was obviously going to happen. Welbeck was either going to have a fantastic game or he was going to be shocking, and he was shocking. That back heel attempt that you could. I mean,
Danny Welbeck cannot play up front on his own.
No, he can't.
Fundamentally, that is an issue.
He needs a partner of some description.
Maybe Giroud's the answer, because Giroud's quite physical.
Yeah,
holds
so
the ball up and allow Welbeck to get
run
around him.
Yeah. And the same way, like, I think it was like it's like similar case with Liverpool. It says that you got Balotelli, but he needs that Sturridge play to run, go around, like, you exploit the flanks. But with Arsenal, I mean, it was nice. I think this was pointed out in Match of the Day, that the fact that if you look at
their centre, the very core of their team, there's always been doubt over Szczesny and Mertesacker and Koscielny, even though they had a very good season last time.
Well, I think Koscielny obviously is out injured. Is he not?
But I mean, sort of in general, in the summer, looking at where you should strengthen.
But they sold. Of course, you sell Vermaelen.
Vermaelen, I was confused by that, because how much did Barca pay for him?
16 million.
It was quite a lot of money.
12 million.
If Barca are prepared to pay that much, surely he's good enough
to play
for Arsenal.
But then, of course, first training season with Barcelona, he got injured. So does that show that they got 12 million for a liability, but then they did not reimburse that 12 million into Yeah, I mean, it seems like Wenger's transfer policy is gone.
Centre midfield again. Ramsey and Wilshere are very good players. Wilshere's injured now, actually.
Yeah, and I think we also talked about the Wilshere-Fellaini incident. What was he doing? I mean, credit to Fellaini. Fellaini could have properly flipped out and gone like.
Fellaini's not that kind of player.
No,
really?
but the best bit is like there's like a point where the referee is there. It's a brilliant photo, and Wilshere's got a headbutt, and Fellaini's there like just looking at him like, come on, seriously, come on,
mate.
Yeah.
Seriously. But Jack Wilshere and Aaron Ramsey are very similar players,
yeah,
and they don't have that defensive side to their game. Mikel Arteta is not the answer.
No, definitely not. I mean, Mikel Arteta was a panic buy a few seasons ago.
I know he's not been great in recent seasons, and his discipline's very poor. But Cheick Tiote probably would have done the job for Arsenal.
Again, they were thinking of him for a while ago.
They want that holding midfield player, or like a Fernandinho.
Yeah, I know. They've been crying out for that player for about it was like the same way United have been crying out for a goal.
As long as I can remember, Arsenal have needed that strong ball-winning centre midfield.
But that's like Man United needed that, and we needed a goal-scoring midfield after Paul's goals. We've only just got that. We've been crying out for that for about 4 or 5 seasons now, I think.
It seems so obvious to everyone. I can't understand. You know, like when they bought Ozil, big transfer, massive transfer,
47 million.
But did they need him?
No,
I mean. You never deny a player of Ozil's quality coming into your team. No. You'd always take it, but that's not a priority for them.
But then when going, do you want Fabregas for a cut price, seeing as he used to play for you? Now we got Ozil. What you do in the same logic? You do not turn down
players as well.
Fabregas is the deeper player.
Arguably, I know he's not known for his tackling, but he'd probably do a better job than Arteta and Ramsey and Wilshere would.
Imagine like a holding midfield, or like further sitting back midfield of passes of Ramsey and Fabregas. Then maybe having Wilshere as like a box-to-box midfield and stuff. That would be a decent midfield.
It's bizarre, and you know, even Arsenal could go for someone like Moussa Sissoko. I think he's brilliant. He runs for days.
He reminds me of Park. Not the best football player, but he just runs.
Well, Sissoko's got a bit of talent about him. He's got a good finish.
Well, yeah, so did Park, I suppose. But I mean, he's not like the Flash. He's not going to be like a world beater, but he's going to do a good job every time he comes on the pitch.
Sissoko could probably do a job for Arsenal.
But there's talk. But then, of course, it comes to January. They're going to then panic and start to look for other options. And, as opposed to Man United, first away win of the season.
It's taken. I didn't believe that at first, but when you look at it, actually, you've not been good away from home. That is a big win.
I would say Man United back and forth. I mean, we're still only
United finished fourth this season.
We're only ahead of Newcastle on goal difference, but I think we're at the point now where teams are going to start dropping off.
Newcastle, that's 5 league wins in a row now.
Adam Pardew, I'm starting to think he's actually got powers. The power to resurrect team. I mean, the amount. I can probably think about 6 instances since he's had the job where he's going to get sacked.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to get sacked.
It's ever since they handed him that, was it a 7-year contract?
I know.
Which is one of the most bizarre decisions
I've ever
seen.
Even the only time I've ever supported a 6-year contract was when Moyes signed one. I was like, yeah, longevity, yeah. Stable, we don't sack our managers.
I think, one of the few people still campaigning for him to keep his job after the Everton result. Go on, give him a chance. Let him roll out his contract.
That result hospitalised me, literally. It did. I was in hospital that night. And I woke. Then the day I got released was the day Moyes got sacked. I woke up in the morning, found out I was being discharged, and I read the newspapers, and Moyes was gone. It was a good morning. But still, I think if you look at the league now, I think we're at the point now where stuff is beginning to take shape, and you're beginning to see. It's still tight, but you're beginning to see who are the teams that are going to maybe go on. And
I find it actually difficult. I think Man United finished 4th. I'm finding it quite difficult to decide who finished 3rd.
I can see United getting 3rd.
If our current form, they could get there.
If our injuries cleared up by Christmas and we had a good run till Christmas, we could. That second half of the season where we normally actually do go on a good run.
It's going to be Chelsea and then City.
Oh yeah, I think there's no doubt that Chelsea, Southampton, I feel will drop off, but I can see. I can see Southampton.
One of the sort of big 4.
I can see Southampton getting 5th.
I don't think they'll finish that high. I think they could definitely get 6 or 7th. Europa League, which would be massive for them.
Yeah, but again, not many teams want the Europa League because of the fixture list. No one really wants the Europa League. It's kind of.
Incidentally, did you see the Aston Villa attendance? Embarrassing if you're an Aston Villa fan. That's a 45,000 seater, 46,000 seater stadium. It was 23,000, 24,000. Seriously, there was just huge patches of blue seats.
Does that not kind of imply something like, hey, we're doing something wrong?
Well, I mean, I can sort of understand it's a Monday night game and it's not a big team. You know, Southampton aren't going to pull in many home fans.
But even so, I mean, come on.
It's kind of sad to see because Aston Villa were a huge club. They were finishing sort of 5th, 6th.
Yeah, a few seasons ago.
A few seasons
ago, they were like the
they were the team that were going to break in.
Yeah, not
Tottenham, not Everton, not Newcastle. It was Aston Villa. They were banging on the door. They had John Carew, Ashley Young.
Yeah, there's remind me of Newcastle about 3-4 seasons ago when they were
they were right up there.
Yeah,
Martin O'Neill was managing them.
Yeah,
it was looking good for them, really.
Yeah, I mean, but then that team sort of got dismantled in terms of Young went, Downing went, Barry went, Milner went. Bonglahor is the only one who didn't get to go. Of course,
it's a bizarre one because Bonlahor's always managed to score goals, but never looked like a good footballer.
No, he always looks like he's about to sneeze. He's got the same sort of expression on his face. But still, I mean, in terms of predictions,
I won just
if Di Maria put away that chance, and I can't remember who it was responding to, but if he put away,
if Chelsea put away their chances, I'd have been laughing.
And if Southampton had done a lot better than I thought they would.
5-0.
I thought they had I was like, come on, how well have Aston Villa been playing as opposed to Southampton? They beat Sunderland 8-0. I mean, come on, anything could happen.
But the Brighton game was a surprise.
Yeah, that was annoying.
That was goals out of nowhere for it.
For a second I thought they were going to win it, and then Hooper popped up, and that was a bit annoying, really. Hippier's got to go.
Draw in the Milan derby, which I had. I think you said 1-0 win to Inter.
Yeah. It wasn't far off. I mean, but I think again, dull game.
So 10-9. 10-9 because we do 3 points for correct score, 1 point for correct result.
Yeah.
So I got 10-9 to me.
But
next week will be better.
It's a long season.
It's a long season.
We're not even at Christmas yet.
I'm 1-0 up. We'll keep a running total.
Alright. You've got one. You've got one. Fucking Liverpool fans. Oh, we're 1-0 up.
1-0 up after 2 minutes against Crystal Palace.
What happened to AC Milan? They went 3-0 up. Look what happened to them.
Best night in football.
No,
Istanbul.
No, one of my two favourite nights in football.
Weirdly, Man U winning the Champions League is right up there because John Terry slipped and cried.
I was about to say that's one of my favourite nights. The second one is the new camp, 1999.
Nah, that's getting a bit far back.
And Solskjaer has won it. Favourite commentary line ever. Fuck the Aguero.
That's one of the best.
That's
ones.
the most painful line in commentary history for me.
Oh, you beauty!
That's good. That Aguero thing. That's pain. That's every time I hear that. Every time I hear that Aguero thing, it actually breaks my heart. It's a part of my soul dies.
Balotelli got 1 assist for Man City, and it was that one. Everyone hates Man United. Football fans across the country are celebrating that one. It doesn't matter what shirt you're wearing.
I think it was more just because people got fed up with how easy it's become. But
people
also,
hate Man United.
This week's episode for the weekend review.
We'll be back later in the week for the Champions League.
Yes.
Thursday probably.
Yeah, to review the matches for that. And we'll also have another weekend preview and score predictions for Friday, which will hopefully get up on the Saturday morning.
No technical difficulties this time.
Yeah, no, because I was really annoyed. Because
the technical difficulty of me losing the cable.
And me going away for the weekend not being able to help out at all. Till next time, bye.
See you later, guys.